Okay. Is it working? I don't know. I think my TikTok is broken. One second. Let me fix that over here. Copy. I'll just paste that in here. Make this a little bit more form-fitting. It almost works. Look at that. Live editing the stuff as we are editing the stuff. I don't know if there's anybody on quite yet, but we're just getting set up over here. And where is my other thing? I need that. I need that. Oh, and I need one more thing. How do I do that? Okay, we're going to take a quick detour. I need to update this item first. This is what happens when you are doing this all off the cuff together. Where is that? I think it's under streaming assets, which is here. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm just getting in there. It's fine. It's not under. It's probably under downloads. It's there. It is. Pandas. So big. Step it. Okay. Pandas Talking Games starring Senda and Phil. Which is so funny because Pandas is a short form of Phil and Sendas, like a portmanteau of it, but it's Senda and Phil as the starring. I just noticed that for the very first time. So I don't know. Let's see. What am I buzzing about here? Lots of activity going on right now. Oh my goodness, that's fine. Welcome folks. I'm just getting things set up over here. I normally do Hightail streaming, which is why we have a little Hightail decal at the bottom of the vertical feed. I'm gonna fix that a little bit and make it look a little bit more professional over here. So if you could stick with me for a moment. Why is it so far down in that list? Okay, I gotta move that up. This is me figuring things out live. It's fine. I've been solo parenting all weekend. So my kids are playing Minecraft and on the Switch right now, talking to some friends online through video chat. So they're going to be occupied for a while. If I do need to step away, I certainly will. So I'll let you know if that happens. But we're just keeping things chill today, keeping things nice and relaxed. I am working through some stuff. Is my Twitch working? Is the big question. It looks like it should be. I need to just double check to make sure it looks like it's fine. Okay, we're good. It's just frozen on my other dashboard. And that was a little concerning. What else do I need to set up here before we begin? So as you can see, we're going to be doing a little bit of audio editing this morning. We're going to be showcasing the next episode of Pandas Talking Games, which should be a fun episode to listen to. It is about love. I'm imagining romance. So content warning, there might be some discussion about romance, potentially discussion about sex. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure what is in here yet. Usually they keep it relatively tame. So we'll see kind of what happens. There could be profanity. So that's why I put the profanity list as a potential thing to watch out for. So we'll kind of see how that works out as well. What else do I need to set up before I begin here? I think it should have the audio. So let me just play a little snippet here.
That's weird.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming through nice and clear. So let me know if there's any audio issues as well. That would be really helpful. Oh, and the last thing to do before I start up, I'm going to hop over to this other thing that's going to get rid of my stuff, but I need to pull in my Discord server. My new Discord server, that's what I meant, is up and running. And where can I put it in here? That'll be obvious. I don't know, maybe right above the chat for now. We get a lot of chat. Maybe maybe up here. Is that obvious enough? Down here, I think this might work the best, honestly. And let me pop it over here as well. I got to grab the other one. New Discord server. Random project. Over on the highlighted tab here, we'll bring it up to the top and right in the middle there. Looks good. Nice. I have a Discord server. If you like what I do, if you like the gameplay that I've done in the past, I usually during the weekdays will do gameplay, and then on Sundays, like today, it's a working session. I'm also a podcast editor, so I am going to be editing Pandas Talking Games. I will be adding my thoughts as I edit, and we'll kind of see where the conversation takes us. Feel free to join in on the conversation in the chat. We have chats going for both Twitch and TikTok. They will combine on the stream itself, so you can stay in the conversation no matter where the chats are coming in from. Theoretically, the chat bots on TikTok notoriously are kind of annoying for getting started, so I have to kind of kickstart it a little bit. So we'll see how that works. Connected to TikTok successfully. Perfect. Testing the chat. We'll see how that works. It looks good. Theoretically, that should pop in any second now. If it doesn't, then I don't know what to tell anybody. I got the notifications that it's connected. I see people joining. We'll see if there's any chatter if it shows up on the stream itself. Again, I'm a little baby streamer, so I am trying to get the kinks out. But for now, let's hear what Phil and Senda are talking about in this latest. This also starts with outtakes, so we're just going to get the raw experience of me editing this podcast. I need to get their audio files up over here so I can pull in the sound bits. But let's see what we got.
Yeah. Look, we're such professionals. It's been a long time since we've had to do that twice.
Oh, a double clicky today. Got quite the energy going. She keeps going.
There is a history of great theme songs for shows, but I don't think you're allowed to even enter the conversation if in your top 3 you don't have Tank.
I mean, Tank. It's damn good. I mean,
I'm just saying, look, the Firefly one is in the top 5, no doubt, right?
Sure,
like,
sure.
The Firefly one's great.
Sure.
Many people will argue the Enterprise theme song is also very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you'll have your various fans of, like the Jan Hammer's Miami Vice is also another one. Buffy, sure.
I never really watched Buffy.
Right. Always.
Once again, I'm just going to go back to the fact that like the fucking 90s, man, like everything was just better. TV shows were awesome. Music was just
the thing that
scares I don't know if that's
the music was really
or
good. The thing that scares me about TV shows is I'm like, if I go back and watch them now, were they really better or did I just not know any better?
There's definitely a combination of that, right? Like there's definitely a combination of like, there's some like, there are going to be some things when you watch old media where you're just like, don't approve.
No, I
just watched Little Shop of Horrors and was like, oh, good Lord. Like,
yeah.
There's even some Sailor Moon episodes that I cringe at completely. One of my favorite anime series, Sailor Moon. But like, some of those 90s episodes do not hold up at all.
Like, this whole thing is fucked from top to bottom. Like,
yeah, like, oh, what a cute high school play.
It's a high school play about a girl who's being abused by her asshole boyfriend and the other guy who's clearly like some sort of pining incel who murders the other guy for her affection. Like, there's
this
a
Little Shop of Horrors.
Shit ton of stuff going down in that play.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That play
hi,
is
Ryan.
wild.
Hi, Ryan. How are
Hi.
you?
We just
Hi,
spotted
Phil
you
and
from
Senda.
across the bar.
From the past.
Wanted to
He's
see if you
going to
wanted
be
have a
editing
drink.
this live, you know, right?
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Just probably. It's just that I saw him put it on his calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what's
they've been
happening
working
right
on
now.
a bunch of the words are not working this morning.
Yeah,
that
come on,
bodes
Senda's
well
brain.
for recording a podcast. Automation.
The automation.
Hooray. They've been working on their automation, which is very cool, and hilariously posted their Twitch stream by accident on the Pandas Blue Sky yesterday.
There were
Like,
some
oh,
bugs.
whatever. I don't care.
It's Ryan. I mean, Ryan's
It's
part
Ryan.
of Ryan's
Like-
part of Pandas. You can promote stuff onto our Blue Sky account. Whatever.
Whatever.
It's not like we're watching that Blue Sky account like hawking it or anything. Like,
I should
pay
check
attention
it.
to
I
it.
should check it more often than I do.
correct. Anyway, want to do a show?
Maybe we'll
Yeah,
get more
we should
interaction.
probably do a show.
Let's go line up some. Audio.
Cool.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right. So that is the first big block of outtakes. Now I got to pull in the first Senda bloop. We'll let you all hear that for those that are here. Bloop. It's a very nice bloop. And then we'll pull this in. No, I'm just going to keep it open because I like the extra space. So here we go.
I'll just make this text slightly larger because I'm feeling old today.
We're just hunting for outtakes at this point.
Big
Okay.
notes. Big notes.
Big notes. Oh, come on.
Ugh,
Senda's
one more
eyes.
seat adjustment. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Good enough to keep in the outtakes, which is weird when it's outtakes. You clip them out of the episode, but then we put them at the end. So they're actually in outtakes. Some outtakes actually never make it to air, which is interesting. So some outtakes are actual outtakes. So here's the opener.
Hey, Senda.
Hey, Phil.
I think I'm just going to come out and ask, you got any thoughts about romance and role-playing games?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask if there was a spark, because then the answer is yes.
I already knew the answer to that. Right back at you.
Cue music.
Amazing. What do we got? We are going to kind of fade out on Senda's laughter. We will put a cue music marker in here. Whoops, that was the wrong button. Here we go. Music. So that adds a little marker for me for later. And then there's going to be a little bit of outtake here to pad some time.
I can't now think of our music because I keep thinking of Tank.
Oh, no.
There
There it
Yeah,
is.
that one.
You gotta do the high one. You gotta do that. Yeah, I can't.
Oh my gosh. She just keeps. I've never heard of Tank before.
I'm done.
Okay, so that's an outtake. Pretty big one. So I'm gonna add a little minute of silence over here in the front. We post that in there and pull the next outtake buffer. And then I'm going to, where is it? Pull in the intro here as well. I think it should just work. Let's see.
Cue music.
Yeah, that sounds fine. And then I got to tighten it up just a tad. So we're going to bring that in, add a marker, and that marker is going to be called start. And I also forgot the opener marker. So I'm going to add that on here too. Open music start. Perfect.
And welcome to a cozy and romantic episode of Pandas Talking Games.
Cozy romantic.
I'm one of your hosts. As I'm lighting the candles, my name is Phil.
And I am your other host, Senda. I guess that leaves me with the rose petals.
Rose petals and uncorking the wine, perhaps?
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I got to
Little-
turn down my
I'd break a
lights at this
little,
point.
yeah.
I don't know.
Welcome.
Wow. We're bringing it way down and calm today. I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to last.
See how it goes.
Not with the way they've been already.
Okay, before we actually get into the show, though, we have one piece of just logistical business to make sure that you all know about. And that is that we are recording today, Saturday, March 14th. And
Correct.
so there will be an episode of the show on Wednesday, the 18th.
Yes.
We will not be recording on Saturday, the 21st.
Correct.
So there
you are LARPing.
I am LARPing.
Sunday's
I got to
LARPing.
go off and play various versions of King Arthur's Court.
Yes.
So there will
Should
be
probably save
no
this.
episode of the show.
Let me let it save quick so I don't lose the progress. I forgot to save the audio files after I had cleaned them yesterday.
On Wednesday,
There we go.
March 25th,
Correct.
right? Okay, so that's
And
just the
then-
thing. Potentially, we are not sure if we are recording on Saturday the 28th because I got to do some college tour stuff with my kiddo, which means that there may or may not be an April Fool's Day
Oh,
Episode.
okay.
We will update you via social media if that episode does not go off.
Right. This is your heads up. Like if we miss 2 weeks in a row in here,
We're
we're
still,
still
here.
not actually pod fading, right? Life is just doing life stuff and
is
we may
doing
not be
life
able to
stuff.
record.
Mhm.
So definitely missing next week, maybe missing the first week of April.
Correct.
We will let you know if that first week of April we're not going to be here. But otherwise, worst case scenario, we'll see you the second week of April.
It's like a 50-50. It really
It
just
is like a
gonna
50-50.
it's just really going to depend on how much energy you have coming off the trip.
And right now I'm just looking ahead in my edit to get rid of a lot of the little blips and ticks and stuff like that I have gotten used to seeing visually. Like these little things that you're not going to really hear over anybody else talking. Might be that. And you've got a whole bunch of like little breath sounds in here that you get used to after you edit for a bit. So I can easily like sneak ahead and take care of some of these. Hey, cousin, welcome. Hopefully, you're having a good time in the snow this weekend. Yeah, I am. Let's see here. Not much. I'm doing some live podcast editing right now, as I am in my Sunday stream mode of just chatting and doing some work. It's not too bad. Kids are nice and warm in the basement, playing some video games, and Ashley is off visiting a friend. So things are going well. I think Ashley's going to be missing a lot of the major amounts of snow that we're getting over here, but I think it's supposed to be up to like 28 inches possibly, which not a big fan of that. So hopefully the snow in your neck of the woods isn't going to be too terrible, but if I remember correctly, you're further north, right? Hey, Caroline, welcome. How's it going? So I am just finishing up just a little bit of the blips here. I did pause my progress though, and I really do you have a bit of time, Caroline? Because I wanted to showcase my social media bridge app specifically when you got online. 9 inches for today's total. That's not bad. We're sitting probably at about 4 inches already right now. From last night and this afternoon, the blizzard kind of just started already. Well, actually, this morning the blizzard kind of started already. It's supposed to be on and off. 8 minutes. It's going to be an hour long, but you want a little sneak peek? I can give a little sneak peek. Oh, after that, you know what? I will hold off because this Pandas edit will take about an hour. Come back after your call, and I promise you, I will give you the full tour of the app. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Absolutely. Okay. Now I got to figure out where I was in the edit when I paused, because like a fool, I forgot to figure that out.
Right. This is your heads up. Like if we miss 2 weeks in a row and missing next week, maybe missing the first week of April,
Correct.
we will let you know if that worst case scenario, we'll see you the second week of April.
It's like a 50-50.
Okay.
It really
It
just
is like a
That's around there.
It's just really going to depend on how much energy you have coming off the trip.
Yeah.
I'll prep everything for an episode, and if we don't do
So
it,
here's what it sounds
the
like when I go
28th, then
into
we'll do it on the
chipmunk
4th.
mode.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, everybody be cool. Be cool. Be cool. We're not going anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Yep. All right. Very good. That's business out of the way. I want to talk about our topic. I think we
hinted at
We're
it.
going to be
from the
talking
opening of the
about romance and love in role-playing games. You can't hear at all? That's a good thing to point out. Let me see if this, hold on. Where is my audio track? Is that too big? Q, W Audition.
From the opening of the show, but do you want to?
Yeah. Okay, let's dim the lights back down again. I had to turn them on all bright to
Yeah,
have an
excellent.
announcement.
Oh,
there
you
for a
know what?
second.
Okay, give me a second. I know it's wrong. Thank you for pointing that out because this would have been really awkward over on the TikToks if you didn't have that audio in there. So I'm going to add, where is it? Select a source. Where are you? Applications, Adobe Audition. Sure. Let's turn that volume down maybe a little bit. Let's see that in there. Let me just test it here.
Again. So today's topic came to us from Jamie on the
Oh, wait, now I'm doubling the
Slack.
audio. All right.
And they asked podcast topic idea: romance in RPGs,
Okay, perfect.
both as a player and as a GM. Backstory: started playing RPGs in the late 80s and into the 90s during the middle and high
Okay,
school.
good.
And at that time, romance was
Thank
not
you.
an interest with the table or really discussed in any of the games. I share a similar experience. Yes.
Okay, so this is my first test of doing my work at home to TikTok streams. I did Twitch exclusively last week, so thanks for being in the audience to help me get the bugs out.
And at that time, romance was not an interest with the table or really discussed in any of the games. I share a similar experience. Yes.
Same.
Now returning to the hobby, and there is a lot more games about feelings. And I just ran my first campaign where every player stated an interest in romance with NPCs and PCs. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure how to make this work into a topic, how to work this topic into an RPG. I can imagine a podcast with hints, suggestions, and shenanigans. We can imagine potentially multiple episodes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's throw that out here. We have put together an outline, and it's not short.
It's not short.
We're going to just start.
We're going to start. We should say people also in the Slack room tagged on then some additional.
Yeah, so this is Phil Vecchione and Senda of Pandas Talking Games. They are co-hosts of the Pandas Talking Games podcast, of course. And I do the editing for them. I occasionally guest on the show as well. But yeah, they have lovely voices.
Ideas of more things about romance that they wanted to hear about. So we're going to start with Jamie's topic, right?
Yeah, Phil does
for which we
sound
do
like
have
me a
an
little bit.
outline, which is not short. And then
Correct.
having said that, there's more stuff that people added on to that for conversation inspired by Jamie's topic. So this might go on for a bit, and we're not going to promise you exactly how long.
Yeah, we're not going to promise you how long because all of the questions and topics and suggestions were really good.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do all of them.
We're-
It's just going to take as long as it takes for us to get through them.
Correct. We're just going to keep going until we finish them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right.
So
Absolutely.
and they
Hopefully,
they
we'll
all
see you soon.
center around romance.
Have a good
but I
call.
will say from like rereading them,
I do need to check one thing on my end from a little technical bit, because I don't know if the Twitch feed is getting the audio at all. So let me do a little bit of a refresh over here, and we'll just do a little sound check.
say from like rereading them.
Perfect. Okay. It works. Now I can get back to my sanity check of actually
Some of them are like
listening.
a little adjacent into some other areas, but that's okay because they touch on romance, and so is all good. We'll find a way to get everything in.
Yes. Okay.
Cool. All right.
Good.
So Jamie.
Yes. So starting with Jamie.
Yeah, starting with
Mhm.
Jamie. Yeah, let's talk about romance. As we were both agreeing during the intro of the topic, this was definitely not a thing when I first got into the hobby.
Mhm.
We were a bunch of sixth graders like stomping around, just busting up dungeons. And in some of my groups today, there is more or less interest in it. And in our personal game, like you and I have a one-on-one game, and that game has a high degree of romance.
Mhm.
Yeah. It is a major focus.
Yeah. So, which is good because I guess what I'm trying to say here is I've done everything from no romance in a game to some surface romance stuff to some pretty deep and like intimate romance stuff in games.
So here's where I'm going to interject. I haven't had much opportunity to play romance in games, unfortunately. I have always wanted to. I think even back to my like high school RPG days, I had some sort of service level romance implications to the game, and a lot of like my character pines for this other character, but they don't know about it sort of deal. We never really explored the potential of playing romance in an RPG, right? Because we were high school boys, and all of us were just like, let's do cool comic booky stuff. Let's do cool fantasy, epic fantasy stuff, that sort of thing. So we had all those sorts of storylines, but not a lot of focus on like relationships aside from like how much does my character dislike the actions of your character because you're doing some bad stuff. We explored that quite a bit. We explored friendships and building that sort of relationships, but not a lot of romance. I did start exploring it a bit in some online games, and that was immensely satisfying. All sorts of wonderful feelings from those sorts of like, will they, won't they? I played through kind of a like, we have to break up because I'm the chosen one and I have to go on this adventure sort of deal. That was wonderfully satisfying. And in my Beyond the Wall campaign, my character was like the noble daughter of the local village and whatnot, and she was in a relationship that wasn't really stated as a relationship with the fisherman's daughter, and so there was a lot of like these two are close, but we never really explicitly explored the romance aspect. It was just like super good friends aspect of things because we were also playing with kids. So I didn't want to like, force a romance into the table when it's, us and some 9-year-olds that eventually are now like, gosh, in their teens, which is ridiculous to think about. But I want to explore it so badly. Like if I were on an actual play podcast with a long running campaign, I would lean so hard into I want to romance somebody, whether it's an NPC, whether it's another player character, whatever. I would love to play out that sort of storyline. So there's going to be a lot of good tips and tricks, sounds like, in this episode that we're listening to right now. So I am, I'll stop talking and we'll get to it. Sorry, Senda, you were saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Agree. Yeah, I have similar experiences, right? Because I didn't used to play with romance in my games at all. Now I really enjoy playing romance in my games. And so my experience encompasses both sort of surface level romance, romance at the table, LARP romance, which is sort of a whole
LARP.
layer.
Adjacent.
Adjacent, but whole body, right?
I can't even imagine LARP romance. Because like that's so much more intimate than like at the table we're just pretending romance. Like LARP, you are embodying, you are an actor at that point. That's interesting.
Yep.
And then also the game that we were playing, which is all holds off, no holds barred.
Yeah. Pretty.
Mhm.
It's a MA, like rated MA for mature audiences.
Right.
Like,
right.
and we'll talk about how that got set up because it was very deliberate.
And for those that don't know, Phil and Senda are dating one another. Different time zones, but them having their own game one-on-one, you can imagine. I'll let your imagination run wild there.
Okay, cool. All right, so we haven't done this explicitly in a little while, but I think it's going to be important for us to do
It's
as we
time.
kick this.
It's time.
it
It
is
is time.
Right. Yes. We're going to need to define a few things.
Yeah, there's a lot. People say romance, and they actually mean a lot of different things, which we discovered when we started talking about what we needed to address in this topic.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
definition-
romance is a word like fantasy or sci-fi.
yes.
Like when you tell me you want a like romance in your game, you have only indicated a direction of conversation by which we need to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Same thing if you told me you were interested in fantasy. I got a lot of questions for you if we're in the same case. Okay.
Yeah. All right, definition panda.
All right. So a couple of these I pulled right from the dictionary. So let's just start with romance from a dictionary term. A feeling of excitement and mystery associated with love.
I think it makes
Right?
sense.
Like
Sure,
the
yeah.
mystery, the excitement, right?
It's kind of poetic.
Love. Tangentially to that, because we often cannot help but to pull in other media into our ideas of how things go at the table. Why don't you do the next definition? Because this one I think is a very much a you thing.
It is, yes. So the next one is romance books, right? Or romance as a genre. Romance as a genre of fiction focuses on the development of a romantic relationship between characters requiring a central love story and an emotionally satisfying, optimistic, happily ever after, or happily for now ending. Those are the requirements for romance as a genre, right?
Yes.
And we define both of these things because when you say the word romance,
You may not mean romance.
No.
I don't know if you mean a romantic genre plot line or a romance of the dictionary definition feeling, like, right? Like so
Yeah.
this is why we're starting to break that down. Cool. Okay. What else?
Yeah, our next definition is drama.
Sure.
An exciting, emotional, or unexpected series of events or circumstances. Relationships, what some people may equate romance to relationships. Some relationships are not romance, they're drama.
Yeah.
Like they aren't going to end with a happily ever after or happy for now, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
They may just end, right? And there may be feels, right? That's drama.
It is drama. And I have played romantic relationships in games that were drama.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why, yep, words.
And
one more.
And then we can go one step beyond that,
Yep.
which is we can get to tragic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Causing
tragic
or
romance. Yep.
Characterized by extreme distress or sorrow.
Sure.
Some relationships can end in tragedy.
Correct.
Yes.
Hey, Matt girl, welcome.
That is also not the romance genre, right?
I see Ocean
tragic.
Gremlin in
But you might have what
the
starts
office
as
as
a
well.
romantic relationship by the dictionary definition of romance
Yes.
that ends tragically, right?
Yeah. So I think
Yes.
the first thing, if we're opening up a conversation and somebody says, I would like to have romance in my game, is I think the first cut you have to make is, are we talking about romance the genre,
Yes.
or
Mhm.
are we talking about romance the
The feeling.
yes.
Mhm. So, like, this is why session zeros are critical to gameplay, especially if you want romance in your games. You want to set those expectations up front so you can have those conversations with one another. So even if you're playing a big hack and slash D&D campaign, or a really narrative focused, like character driven campaign in a different system, you need to have those conversations at that opening point, so you're all on board and you're all comfortable with it. Because the biggest thing with RPGs are relationships. Playing games with a group of people is a form of relationship, and you have to have consent to go down potentially difficult topics. So a session zero is a perfect time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that I think informs a couple of things about it.
Yep. I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've
'cause if
done
you're-
all of these, just to be
Right.
clear. I've done all of them.
Me too.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I think that's important to note. Like now, for instance, in our Long Live the Queen game, that is actually a romance genre.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it could have been, it easily could have been a drama or tragedy with only small adjustments, and I'll just tell you, like, shit could happen to Margot.
Yeah. No, my character has a very committed girlfriend in that story.
Yes.
And if we kind of hadn't agreed that this is romance genre, right? That like that relationship, there may be occasional strains, but like it's going to have a happily ever after or a happily for now ending, then like, yeah, like shit could happen to my girlfriend. And then that would be drama and potentially tragedy.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Like there's a like, and we had to have that talk, I think, early on in the game.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I don't even think it was quite session zero, but we had to have kind of a discussion. What happened here? What had happened was.
Yeah, what had happened was.
So this is a very good point too. If something that changes the social contract of your group comes up mid-campaign, having a like break time of effectively a session zero, right? That lets you do that in the middle of a campaign to reset expectations, to reset lines and veils, to add new ones, things like that. Anytime, literally anytime, as long as safety is on the line, all that sort of stuff, you'll be able to have those conversations and it'll be fantastic. Needed to adjust something as I was talking there. But like, you want to make sure, like, first and foremost, that people are feeling safe, right? People are feeling comfortable and wanting to actually like play in the game. And if somebody at the table is feeling left out, then that's another sort of conversation that you need to have to figure out how can we include everybody. Everybody needs to be having fun. Maybe sometimes one player or another is not going to enjoy like a certain story beat or whatever, and as long as it's not a big safety concern, that's fine. But if it's like they're continuously not enjoying consecutive story beats, and maybe we're going down a weird line and they're just showing up to show up, that's where groups can have these conversations and say, well, what can we do? Why are we no longer having fun as a group together? We're friends. We should be friends. We should be making a story that ultimately, pays off. And maybe it's as simple as like, you may not like it now, but like give me 2 sessions and wow, you'll see what this is all leading up to. You can metagame a little bit. You can have that above table chatter, which is really interesting. But I digress. Back to Phil and Senda.
There wasn't in our session 0 a thought about you having a regular girlfriend, but
Yeah,
I made up
because
an NPC.
She didn't exist until you asked me who I took to the dance.
Well, right. And even then, it was like, well, you could just be like Margot could have just been the person you took to the ball.
She could have been, yeah.
But there was chemistry, and we'll talk about this a little bit later when we talk about tools. There was definitely a moment where I was like, hey, do you want to keep Margot as an ongoing NPC / girlfriend? And you were like, yes. And then it was like a little bit later, I was like, hey, we need to talk about a tonal thing about this game.
Yeah.
Because part of this, for people who don't know the whole, because obviously this game isn't published or anything, it's just a campaign we run. Long Live the Queen is about spies in Queen Anne's court in a mashup Musketeers sci-fi setting where time travelers come to Paris to exploit all of the resources. Queen Anne suspects that something's up and has her court. She turns them into spies.
Yeah. So instead of the Queen's Musketeers, we basically are like Musketeers, but in the down low, sneaky spy kind of way.
Correct.
Yes.
So anyway, there was because of that, your character Aveline has kind of a secret identity. She has a cover.
Absolute multiple covers, but like,
Yes.
yeah, I definitely have a secret double life thing going on, and my
This
girlfriend
game sounds
does
so
not
cool.
know about this.
Yeah, and that it's a thing we don't actually overstress in the game.
Yeah,
because
we
the game is a romance genre.
We could have we do use it to make things a little bit complicated or uncomfortable sometimes for my character, but what I do not have the expectation of is I'm not going to come back from a mission and find Margot dead.
Correct.
Right? Like that's not a romance anymore.
God, what a terrible thing.
That would be so
terrible. Kind of established in the game, like thinking about it now, like, oh God, that would be awful.
It would be a massive tonal shift in our game.
Yeah, it's definitely not the game we're playing.
The game that we set up to play.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, don't do that as a game master. Don't kill off your beloved, NPCs that your players especially are attached to, just to create drama. If drama is not on the table as a possibility, right?
Romance as a genre versus romance, drama, and tragedy.
Right?
Okay. So, keep those in mind.
We're going to end up coming back to that multiple times probably, but like, so that's the first place. And sometimes people will conflate them. They're asking for both.
Yes.
Sometimes they're just asking for the relationship part in the game, and they're willing to see how it goes. They don't need to define the ending. Certainly I've done that a lot. I don't know if it's going to end happily or dramatically or traumatically. And then it's ended however it's ended, right?
Yep.
But sometimes when they say romance, they mean, and I want to have a happily ever after with this person or people.
Yeah. Okay. So cool. So let's talk about it. As in all things, when we give advice, clearly the answer is the way to establish and set up romance in your game is through communication.
Yep.
But since that's the simplest possible answer, the rest of what we're going to talk about is how to frame such a conversation.
Right.
So that you get the best conversation for defining all this stuff.
Yes. So that you can create a romance that everybody wants to be involved with now that they've asked for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So easily the first part of that just starts with, hey, I would like to do some romance in the game. Cool. What does that mean? Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to break this down into a couple of sections.
Yep. And
you don't have to discuss these in any particular order. In fact, we just kind of put them in a kind of random order as we were talking about them. So which one you ask first, or one of the answers in one may lead to the other kind of thing. Just take it as like you should get through all of these high level topics and then you'll have a better understanding of what romance means to the group or the player in the group, etc.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Do you want to just ping pong through these?
Sure. Let's
right,
do it.
Do you want to do the first one?
Yeah. Do you want to? Shall we introduce the first sort of section
We'll
here?
ping pong the introductions, and then we'll both talk about it.
Okay, cool. So the first one is purpose. And I think this leads very logically from our conversation about definitions, right? What is the purpose of the romance in the game? So, like, what do your characters want for it?
Mhm.
Is the plot of your game tied to this romance?
Hey,
or
Chris,
built
welcome.
around this romance?
Sure.
You know, and sometimes that's really easy. If I'm running Pasión de las Pasiones, right? Like, romance is the plot of this game, and also drama, and also
Thirsty
tragedy.
Sword
But like,
Lesbian.
Thirsty Sword Lesbians, romance is integral to the plot of
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. In fact, I would question why you're playing the game if romance isn't central to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are we playing the right game?
Yes, I am 2 sessions into my new Rapscallion game, and my character had an old lover that she hasn't seen in a while, who just showed up again. Right now, romance is part of this game, and it's part of the main plot, because she's the captain of a ship, and she just wow, drama. Anyway, so she just had to come negotiate with the captain to steal me away for the night. And I don't know if she's going to kill me or make love to me. And I'm on the edge of my seat about it. Maybe
You know,
both.
that's the beauty of enemies to lovers, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
So major plot point, right?
So the next one is side plot.
Yes.
So maybe the plot of this game is something completely different, but you would also like to have a romance as part of the side plot. This would be like Kaylee and the Doctor on Firefly. Like
yeah,
like the story is the plot is something completely different, but in the in-betweens, right, in your individual scenes, in your downtime section, whatever, little side plot, we're having a little romance.
Yes. Yep.
Right. So that's a fun way to do it.
Complication. I love complications caused by romantic relationships. What I just described as the plot one also has some elements of this, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Complications is when that relationship is going to make things more challenging for your character or that character, right? So this is the classic superhero. Where is my super suit? The world is. Oh shoot! I just said this quote like 2 seconds ago. How does it go? The world is in danger. My dinner is in danger. So that pull
Love that
of
movie
your
so much.
Commitment, maybe. Complications in that way, the pull of commitment of your commitment to a person versus your commitment to a cause or whatever, the main plot of the story is. But it could also be complications like, my ex-girlfriend showing up and
side note, that is almost the exact plot of my I want to make this someday eventually. My audio drama podcast called Side Heroes, where it's first person perspective from the normal non-powered romantic interest of the superhero, from that normal person's perspective, and like how they fit into one another's lives, and how they deal with all the danger and even like potentially the death of their loved one / a hero, right? So I really wanted to explore those themes in that show, and this is like, playing that in a game, also fantastic.
and me having more relationships because that's who this character is in Rapscallion. She's just a romantic.
And I think it's important, right? I'll state this now before we continue on the list. Like, obviously, a romance could be more than one of these things.
Oh yeah.
But if it's the driving force for it, then it'll have a few characteristics. Like for instance, if you want to be like you're playing a superhero game and you want to be in a relationship because it's going to cause more like drama,
interesting complications.
correct?
Yes.
Drama.
Yep.
In your game, that's fine.
Yep.
Right? That's a perfectly acceptable use of having a relationship or romance in your game.
Yeah.
Is because it complicates your character's life.
Yep.
Okay.
I love romantic relationship
and
complications.
this covers anything where you have a secret identity or some sort of secret. Part-time gods would have this problem.
Yeah.
Superhero games, our spy game,
yes,
has the same
so
problem.
very much.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the next one?
Motivation. So this is where, you know, you can actually motivate the character to take actions based on that romantic relationship. And I do want to say, I think that you have to be a little bit careful with this one. Don't fridge people.
Nope.
Right?
I do the
Just be
opposite.
like-
I can give you an example of quite the opposite of it, and I think you know the example.
Yeah.
There is a character who I created a strong motivation for a romance for within a game. It's Corrin, my barbarian from
Yes.
Chris's Dungeon World game.
Yes.
My primary reason for having a relationship in the game was motivation, which was to not kill Tony.
Right. Tony's character, because he was dangerous, but he was the only reason that the only way that you would be able to see the goddess that you had fallen in love with.
Correct.
Again. Yeah.
Are they talking about you, Chris?
Accidentally summoned her again.
Yeah. And I really was like, I mean, I was interested in the romance part of it, but I didn't want to, and we're going to talk about this in some of the other topics. I didn't really want to like spend a lot of time wooing her or anything like that. What I really wanted, for the sake of the game we were in, is yes, a purpose for, after Tony's like 7th failed attempt to summon a dead god, for not running him through with my sword and being like, you're a fucking liability in this dungeon, not an asset.
Right. Yeah. You needed a reason to keep him in. So you had a motivation. Right?
And literally it was like, the thought process was, I need to not kill Tony because my Phil the player is loving havoc Tony
absolutely a liability
dungeons with these terrible rolls.
Yes.
But my character
no
would
way
fucking
he would
murder his character.
Right.
And so how do I not do that? And I was like, oh, well, I'm in love with one of the dead gods that he summoned. And clearly the only way I can see her again is if Tony summons her again. Tony's character summons her again. Therefore, not only do I not want to run him through,
I have to keep him alive.
Alive, right? It was a great motivator for
That's awesome.
Character, and it was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Because like you've got the whole like there's all those groups, like somebody that's the like the solo person or the person that has a lot of like antagonism towards another character. And it's cool to find those creative ways to make them come back together. Absolutely. I would have had to figure out some PvP rules for Dungeon World. Already started, but helped me not have to rely on what I came up with. Absolutely, yeah. I'm not 100% familiar with Dungeon World. I guess I never thought of PvP being a potential in there because it's a lot of player versus game through the narrative and whatnot, and a lot of those powered by the Apocalypse games, you're generally like on each other's team and not butting heads. So yeah, really interesting to think about. I'm glad you found a cool creative solution to that, though. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it seems like a really good dynamic. I mean, and then, also simple, very stereotypical plots, kidnapped princesses and stuff also fall into this category, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fated Mates.
Fated Mates, another good motivation one. Yeah.
Yeah, Fated Mates, another, like, you are destined to be with this person, or the universe will only be saved once you two are joined together. But of course, like, they've been whisked off to the Shadow Realm.
Yep. miracle romance in the magical world genre. That's what that would be. So like Sailor Moon and Prince Edaminian and whatnot are good examples of old school 90s miracle romance in that regard.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever it is. Yes.
Exactly.
8 or
The
9 years
last
ago.
one
Wow.
on this section is role play opportunities. It could be you just want to do some cool role playing.
Yeah. Sure.
Like I I don't know. Can you ever think of a time where you've wanted to like have a relationship so that you had a reason to role play something out at the table? Wink, wink. Like all of your
Yeah.
characters.
Like all of my characters ever.
Yeah.
I think there's another one here too. So a game that I talk about a lot. It's also can be a very effective way to integrate a new person into a game, right?
Mhm.
Where they don't necessarily have to know all the information or whatever. If you give them a romantic relationship, suddenly you have a really strong in character reason to be there, and role play opportunities that don't require them to do some of the more awkward things that sometimes merging people into a party does, right?
Yeah.
So like it's just another angle on role play opportunities.
Mhm.
Whenever you need someone to have a really strong connection, if they're new or a character died, you're bringing someone new in, whatever it is, right? It can also be very powerful for that.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. There are obviously other purposes. These are just a handful of the ones
Just
that
some of them, yeah, that might come up, right? Things you could throw out there to be like, what are we going for?
So the next thing you need to talk about, or another thing you need to talk about, is intensity. How intense do you want this romance to be within the game?
This conversation assumes that you have already or are going to, during the course of this intensity conversation, done some talking in terms of lines and veils, and you've agreed that romance is in the game, and then this is the conversation where we're going to pin down where the veils are on romance itself.
This is like such an important conversation to have in the groups.
Right.
Yeah, this will lend itself into the safety. This will lend itself into the safety tool, or you have already set some stuff in the safety tool that will lend itself to this discussion.
Right, that may answer this conversation, and maybe
you may need to recalibrate your safety tool once you've had this discussion.
Yes,
I was thinking the same thing as well.
These two things are linked together.
Yes, make these match up.
Yes.
They shouldn't be different, right?
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, so intensity. We're going to start in the YA end of the pool, right?
Yeah.
So flirting. How do we feel about flirting?
Yeah, flirting's lovely, right? I love flirting.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes it makes the butterflies happen, and sometimes it's just being silly and flirting.
And sometimes that's all we want, right? Maybe we're
maybe
we're the bard traveling through town, and really all we want is some flirting and a little fade to black at the end of the night when everybody goes back up to their rooms in the tavern, right?
Yep.
Don't need much more than that.
Cool.
Okay. I think the next level, of course, is like yearning.
Yep.
Like this is like we've moved past flirting. This is desire.
Right.
Right? But not necessarily action, and not necessarily like more than that, right? It's just like, and this is like kind of where Corin fit for most of the campaign, was yearning. Like I would pine about the Queen of Hoarfrost and Woe, but like there were only like a couple scenes where like I ever saw her. Most of the time it was just like wandering through the dungeons being like, you need to summon her again, right? Like I need to see her, right? Like I need to profess my love to her.
Yes. Yeah. And yearning may happen without any flirting having happened before then, and it can be one-sided, it can be two-sided, right? Like if yearning is where you land, then there's some other conversations about like,
oh yeah, I really do need to check out Children of the Shroud. Absolutely.
And all of that kind of stuff, right? Cool. I don't know if I understand.
I got this one. The next one is surface chat, which means like we're definitely going to be in a relationship, but like nothing terribly deep is happening in any of the role playing around this romance. Like we go out on dates and we have small talk in while we're playing at the table. We've been married forever, and we talk about the kids or whatever, but it's all just like it's not deep, it's not dramatic, it's just surface stuff, right? It's safe.
It might just be the grounding of a character that is off doing wild things, and then it means they come home to a
Character's
calm
girlfriend
home at
soul.
night.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, entangling your souls together. That's cool. That's a whole nother level of connection, honestly.
And really, the purpose of that then is different, right? Like, we're not going to play into this. We just assume that he has this kind of solid relationship, and that's who they go back to, right?
Yeah.
When they're done with the day.
You were right there with me.
I just didn't know what words. I was like, I don't know which words what.
Yep. Then there is deep chat, right?
Chat.
Now we are talking
Deep chat.
about, like, now we're getting into a little more of the drama,
The deep chat.
or a little more of the passion of romance, right? Like, now we are, confessing love. We are perhaps just on the edge, like, of intimacy.
Getting those emotional connections, right?
And again, this is your calibration, right? Depending on where
Right.
your line and veil is, deep chat might be as far as you take it in your game.
I'm sorry. Every time Phil says deep chat, I can only think of Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy from the old SNL sketches. If you know, you know.
Right. And that, but that could also be like deep discussions about the relationship. Like, why are we together? Like, like a superhero game that, like, all of a sudden the superhero has to have, like, a conversation with their partner about, like, you're never around. I don't feel loved. What are we doing here? Kind of thing, right? Not all games want that.
Right. Well, this is where we get back into drama and tragedy, right?
Correct.
My character definitely had to break up with their fiance in a game, right? And had to have a conversation with that breakup that was, like, essentially boiled down to, I can't be with you anymore because I don't feel safe with you, which was a very real conversation. Contextually, he was also a praying mantis alien that ate my dad. So, like,
legit reason.
I feel a little unsafe.
But we had to have that conversation about, like, it doesn't seem like you value human life, which includes me. So I don't know how to remain feeling safe, being vulnerable with you.
And some people are not going to want to have this level. Some people.
So interesting.
Let me just say this: some people in their real life relationships, don't like having these chats.
Yes,
they're definitely not going to want to. They may not. I shouldn't say definitely not. They may not want to plumb those depths in their fictional relationship.
Okay, I do want to pause here because there is a fantastic game. I cannot remember the designer offhand, but I believe it's called Break, where you play as a couple that is breaking up over the course of the 10 rounds or something like that. And you get physical objects. Like, you could go to Goodwill and just pick up some, like, tchotchkes and interesting looking things that are going to get broken. And as you play through the scenes, you go through the ritual of saying certain things when the scene comes to a close, and you physically destroy the object as if part of your relationship is starting to get destroyed in the process. So you are working through an actual breakup in the game for these characters, while breaking physical objects in reality, and it is phenomenal. Amelia and I played that when the game was first crowdfunding, I believe, and we played a magical girl, enemies to lovers, to partners, couple that eventually broke up, and it was such an interesting role-playing exercise. But then I still have, you can't see it, I still have one of the things that we had broken hanging up in memoriam of that game. It was just a phenomenal experience. But, like, the breakup storyline can be so gut-wrenching and that's especially where you need to be careful and go into it with that knowledge that this is a possibility, and not only a possibility, but probably a check-in. Like, hey, it feels like our characters are breaking up. It feels like my character and this NPC are breaking up. Are we okay with playing through that, or should we veil it? Like, where are we at emotionally? And obviously, it's going to be much more dramatic, much more emotional, much more intense playing out that. But a lot of people might not be comfortable with that. So your mileage may vary.
Pretend one, yeah.
On
Well-
the other hand, some people love this shit. Looking at you.
I know. If you ever want to hear Phil and I do this, just do
God,
deep chat,
yes.
right? There is an episode of She's a Super Geek. I don't ask me to remember when it is.
Yeah.
It's old, right? That whole show is old now. But there's an episode of She's a Super Geek where we played The Sky is Gray and You Are Depressed.
Mm.
And it is deep.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's, I think it's probably one of our least listened to episodes because the feedback that I got on it was this was uncomfortable for me to listen to because I felt like I was listening in on someone's real relationship, deep conversation drama.
Yep.
And it was too intimate for people to listen to.
Sure.
Right? Like that was the feedback that I was getting on it, is it was intimate drama.
May I also make a
Yes.
reference? If you would like to hear a more comfortable surface chat example
Sure.
that's really enjoyable,
Sure.
go seek out the recording of us playing Lady Blackbird.
Oh my God, that one is
Hmm.
fantastic.
Lady
I love that
Blackbird
recording.
is very
Yeah.
much a surface level chat
Yes.
with a lot of flirting,
So much flirting.
right? But never gets, it doesn't get deeper
No.
than that.
Yeah.
It remains very comfortable, and it leans heavily to the romance genre, even though Lady Blackbird's not really about that. Kind of is
we
about that,
turned
but isn't.
we turned Lady Blackbird into a romance that run.
Listen,
We sure did.
slight confession here.
We sure did. There
put
was
a
a
lot
lot
of-
of personal yearning at that
Ah.
time.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
There's to hint to what I think is going to be our next episode on this, as I'm looking at the clock.
Yeah.
We'll talk about bleed and romance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Episode.
That is
Okay.
so important.
And then the last one of these, right, past deep chat, is intimacy and sex. Like, are you talking about fucking at the table? If I may be so blunt, right? Like,
Right. Well, and
is that on the table?
this is its own whole calibration, right?
Yes.
Because kissing might be fine, like kissing and holding hands. How far do you go before
Correct.
you fade to black?
Mhm.
Or do you never even imply it, but kissing is okay?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Where is the
again.
line? This is really important
Yep.
because when someone says romance, they may or may not mean physical intimacy.
Mhm.
Let me. What did we say during the prep when I was driving this morning? Wuthering Heights
Right.
and pucking around.
they're the
are-
same genre theoretically.
They are very different in
Right.
how much graphic intimacy you want in your book.
Pride and Prejudice
Yes.
and
Mhm.
Lights Out get
Yes.
shelved in the same
Ah.
section,
Yes.
friends, right? But they are not the same.
If you don't recognize the names of a couple of those books, Google them and read the.
Oh boy!
Go read the.
And my apologies.
I would not say that. Pucking Around is one of my favorite books.
I wasn't talking about pucking around.
No, Lights Out.
Lights Out is
Lights Out.
is a
Lights-
whole.
Lights Out. You got to put the safety gloves on when you pick up that book. It's got
Yeah.
Oh,
It,
content. It's got like a couple pages of content.
it's
Oh,
got-
boy.
It's got some content warnings. Yeah.
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 Anyway, okay. So, but that's a legit thing that could come up because that's a legit thing that happens with some romances.
Yeah, it 100% is. And so you need to know when someone says the word romance,
Yep.
what does that mean for what level of intimacy or
Correct.
not we are comfortable having as a group at the table. And also, this is really important because some people may be comfortable with a lot of intimacy and some people may be comfortable not with that much intimacy.
Mhm.
And you must enthusiastically consent to the lowest common denominator.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
We've talked about that in previous
in previous safety episodes.
but yes,
this
thank
is
you
one
for
of those
bringing it back up.
times you
Yep.
got to agree to the lowest common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if I just may say, I think
Mhm.
part of the reason that two-person games have a reputation like me and you playing together, obviously we play into the stereotype or whatever, the like two-player games like that tend to have a reputation for potentially being much more explicit,
Sure.
is because it's way easier to calibrate
Yes.
a level of comfort with sexual intimacy with two people than with six people,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because
sure.
everybody has different comfort levels. Anyway, cool.
Yeah, unless you get your whole polycule to play.
Right. I mean, that's different, right? But that's the dream.
That right. That is the dream right there.
Isn't that the purpose of Polycules? To have your own role playing group at any given time?
Like role playing polycule. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good. The next topic. What's the next topic?
Cool. The next topic is life cycle, right? Like, which when we say life cycle, we're talking about sort of the timeline of romance or the life cycle of romance, right?
Of a romance.
Of a romantic relationship.
There you go.
That's
Thank
what I
you.
should say. Yes. Because there's different tropes that come with different places in that life cycle, right?
Yep. So in the beginning, right, we can have a new relationship, right, which typically falls in the courting. We're not really committed to one another. Maybe we've had a meet cute, right? Maybe forced proximity. If you don't know what these terms are, go Google these. These are romance book terms. But what it means is this relationship is just starting, right? And a lot of times this is the kind of fun, flirty banter, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. This can be the doing the romantic gestures, right? To win, to win somebody over kind of thing.
Yep. And this is the thing that I would say with this is for my purposes anyway, kind of assumes you're probably starting this relationship in the game.
Yes.
Whether
Excellent.
it's starting at the very beginning of the game or like you're mid-campaign and you're like, oh, I think I really like this NPC or something, and you start a new relationship in the game so that we see it from the very beginning, right?
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Cool. The next one is what?
Dating or established relationship, right?
Yeah.
Or I should say, wow, speaking today is apparently challenging. I'm very excited about this topic, so the words try to come out faster, and then sometimes they turn into mush.
That ADHD life.
Or establishing a relationship, meaning like, yes, we've gotten through the initial like, ooh, are we going to go on a date? Right? Or are we going to keep dating, or are we going to commit to each other in some way? Like, we've gotten past that initial like, and now we're in the, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I get to date this person. Like, everything is really exciting. This is in both new and courting, and then also
very cool. Have a good rest of your week, Chris. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully you aren't too affected by the snow and storms coming through the States.
And that is where in real life we tend to get like so much like
Attic Studio. That sounds really cool.
Spikes of dopamine about these things, right? The super high excitement and the big like just super fizzy butterfly feelings.
I will also say that this is a I like all of those things, right? I like all of those things for all of those things, but also this is also a place where the romantic partner may not be a day-to-day fixture in the character's life.
Yes,
so
true.
This is somebody they're dating. That implies that like there's free time about the character. There are, periods of time where the partner is not present, right? This may be really, and you may do this, like you may set your relationship like this for some level of convenience within the game. Like, I want a romance. Like, I want a romance in the game, but I really don't want to have to, like, I'm a superhero and I don't really want to have to constantly have to deal with the relationship in every session of the game. So I'm going to make them, I don't know, they're a business person who travels a lot.
Right.
So
we're dating.
Yeah, so we're dating.
this is also a way to calibrate if your purpose is complication, how much complication, right? Because
Mhm.
Yeah.
it is potentially less complication from someone that you don't see constantly or live with than it would be from someone that you do.
All right, next level is committed and deepening relationships. This is
Sure.
a couple that's been together for a long time, depending on societal constructs and things like that. They may be married, they may be bonded, like whatever it is in your game. But they're together, and that doesn't mean they're exclusive. Again, those are societal constructs, but it means that their relationship is, it's lasting, and also there's kind of an implied they're around a lot.
Yes.
Like if you are in a relationship, that character is probably around in a lot of the downtime stuff,
Yes.
or at least has to be accounted for in every downtime. Like
Yeah.
in our Long Live the Queen game, Margot is a character, and we actually have mechanics for relationships. You are basically required to have a romance scene with Margot every story that we do.
Yeah. Between every mission,
Yes.
there's at least one check-in basically with Margot that is
Right.
some kind of romantic scene. Yeah.
Right. That establishes her level of commitment.
Yep.
Now you
ongoing.
have other relationships that are like much less. Like one of
Right.
your relationships, you only have to do every arc.
Right. I just
of
have to
stories.
call
Right,
once
or just
every
have a
6 months or
scene. Yeah.
something. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Margot is a committed relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these are like committed relationships. Like those are the people you might be living with, right?
Yes.
Or have children or other shared commitments with, right?
You have history.
History. It's
yeah.
ongoing. It's long. We have a reasonable assumption that that there's history there, and that either then you are, and this is the kind of thing you would want to set up for that relationship, right? Like, is it still going well? Are there cracks in the foundation, right? Like those are the next conversations to have with that. Like, which direction is this going?
Yep, we're going to get to that in just a second.
I know.
Then there's one last one that's not as much fun, but could be the thing you want.
It's
right?
still fun, though.
Can be fun if you like those feelings, right? Which is ending.
Yes.
Ending and loss, right? Your relationship could be ending as part of the campaign. Your relationship could end as the opening of the campaign.
Yep. Or it could end during the campaign.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So when I talk about the relationship where I had to break up with my fiance, we started in the somewhere between dating, establishing, and committed deepening, right? Just because it was like college age, right? So like, there's only so much history there. Yeah. Do you have something to throw in?
Yeah, I was just going to mention, right? We talk about starting point for a relationship, but also your relationship can progress.
Yes,
through
yes,
these.
moves through these, and that's what I was going to say, right? We
Okay, go ahead.
started in the like dating, establishing, and committed deepening, like super way over the top, cutesy, whatever. And then by the end of the game, I had broken up with him, and he was, on a very dark track for the epilogue of that character, and that's something that we. At the beginning, we negotiated very specifically because I did not want to recreate any bad feels from being a person who was married and then divorced, right?
Yep.
So we had pretty carefully negotiated a very committed and loving relationship. And then as the game kept going, our interest in what made sense for the story and how comfortable we were, et cetera, changed and shifted, right? And we renegotiated and said, I don't think that this relationship is going to work out in the long term. Right. And then we played that out.
Yeah.
So definitely don't feel that you are stuck in whatever you originally select. Obviously, if you're playing for a long time, you're going to renegotiate these things and continue to evolve as you go. Do we need to end this episode here and pick up? Nope, we're going to get through the rest of them.
Keep going.
Through just the last couple bullets on this.
Let's go. Okay.
Come on, Phil.
Next one is outcomes, right? This is not necessarily one you have to discuss up front, but it might be good to discuss up front, right? Which is what is your, and this kind of also ties to your purpose, but like where do you see this relationship going?
Yeah.
Right? Like, is it going to just exist within the game?
And this is a very good point as well, not only for relationships in the game, but this is a great discussion. Do you want to discuss where we want the story itself to go? Do you want to discuss like, okay, this is the start of the campaign. This is we know what the conflict is. We know the big bad, blah blah blah. Like what's the end game here? Do we want to talk about what we're working towards so we can all steer the story collectively towards that? Or is the end goal, let's see what happens? Which is also very valid as long as you understand that it could be a safety concern going through something like that.
Is it going to have a happy ending? Is it going to end dramatically or end tragically? Right.
hmm
Depending on the games you're playing, there's definitely some spaces where you may want a like, oh no, this relationship is not going to last forever. And when it's done, it's going out dramatically. Like we're terrible for each other. And when this plays its way through, there's going to be some fallout.
I do think it's okay for this conversation to also approach it from the perspective of if you don't want to plan out what's going to happen in advance, right? It's okay to approach it from the perspective of, do we need this to have a happy ending? Are
Yes.
we okay with letting it play out whichever way it goes?
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying you don't always have to have this discussion, and you might not need to have this discussion up front. You may just need to have it during the course of the game.
It doesn't mean if you choose that this relationship has a happy ending and you start using your NPC romance as a human shield, just because they have quote unquote plot armor, then there's a disconnect with reality at that point within the game, and maybe things need to swing in a different direction. Just an FYI there.
Right. Well, and like I said, in my experience, we stopped and renegotiated to
Yep.
make sure it was okay that we were shifting directions, right?
Yeah.
We stopped and we had a conversation about it.
Yep.
And we said yes, and then we went forward, right? So, like, keep an eye out if you think you're shifting directions with where you thought you were going, or if you're like, wow, we're about to swing really hard into tragedy and it's been 6 months since we originally talked about it. Maybe just pause for a second and say, hey, I think this is where we're going. Are we all cool with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Cool. Let's go. And do it early enough that you have room to change directions if you need to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And then the last one is, with whom
Yeah.
are you going to have these romances with? And there are a couple choices here. What's the first one?
NPCs only. So this is,
hmm
I'm playing a PC and I want my romantic interest to only be played by the GM or to only be
Yep.
an NPC. You might pass around NPCs at your table and that's totally fine.
Yep.
I don't want it to be represented by a single other player. I
Yep.
want an NPC.
The next one is
Which, interesting thought and addendum on my part. The game master, the classic controller of all the NPCs in the world, is also a player. So, like, yes, you don't want it with the hands of one of the other player characters. It's basically saying, I don't want my romantic interest to be a main character in the story as well. I want them to be an auxiliary character, a non-player character, somebody that's not they might be critical to the plot, right? But they are not the driving force behind the game, which is the player characters. Now you may pass the NPCs around, and those NPCs might become like pseudo PCs or GM PCs, that sort of deal. They might cover that in this discussion here. But I think it's a good distinction to say, hey, the GM playing your romance, it could be just as awkward for them as it is for any of the other players. It might be just a mental shift of like, well, I'm romancing one of the 1,000 of characters that my GM embodies. So it's not me romancing my GM with that sort of bleed. It's me romancing a portion of my GM's performance, if that makes sense.
The next one is I'm interested in romance, but we're going to do it between PCs. Like maybe during session 0, as you're setting up your game and making your characters, 2 characters are like, oh, you know what? We're in a relationship.
Cool.
Like,
Awesome.
and
Great.
that might be, and that goes to that like role play opportunity thing, right? Like we're
Yes.
going to be in a relationship because that's going to be fun to role play. Like if I was playing Firefly, right? Wash and God, her name
Oh
just
no. Yes.
yes. Tina Torres's character,
Yes,
right?
yes,
But
yes.
like you could see like at the table as people are making characters, like they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to be the nerdy flight guy, right? Like, and she's going to be like the tough.
Yeah, one of the cool things about romantic relationships is it's an immediate commitment to another character that gives you a starting point before you understand how your character plays really well
Yep.
at the table. I love having both antagonistic and romantic relationships when I start a game because it gives me really strong things to immediately play off of.
Yeah. To go back to when we said role playing opportunities, right? I think the other way to say that is bonds,
Yes.
Mhm.
right? Like having
Yes,
a romance, bonds. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
And then the other one could just be like, I don't care. I'm playing romance. It could be PCs,
Anybody. Could be anybody.
NPCs run by players. Like it doesn't
Mhm.
matter to me.
This is
Yeah.
how I usually play.
Yes.
Could be anybody. You don't know.
Mm.
Could be anybody.
Anybody.
I
Yeah.
have both.
Yep.
Am I
Send
good
us
at getting
always
things
on the
out,
lookout.
Skelly? And the answer is yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
nothing wrong. And again, nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with any of those. We're just calibrating
Yeah.
comfort levels.
What is everybody comfortable with?
Mhm.
Cool.
This one may be on a person by person basis, and that is also okay. It
Yeah,
might
it
be a
could
table
be,
basis.
right.
It might be a person by person basis. Right?
Yeah, you might only be comfortable playing with romance with one person. Like
Right.
maybe your spouse is in the game
Sure.
and you're
Mhm.
like, you know what? We would also like to have a relationship in this game.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Not required.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right, good. Now, I think we tied this off. What we've talked about so far is we've defined some definitions about romance, drama, tragedy, etc.
Mhm.
Talked about the romance genre. And we've broken down the kind of conversation you should have when somebody says, I'd like some romance in this game, right? We've given you some talking points by which you can kind of shore up expectations.
Right. Just start narrowing in on what that means to everybody.
In our next episode,
Yes.
we will talk about how to take all of that conversation
Yes.
and put it into your role
Put
play
it in your game. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't leave ourselves time for that part.
Nope. And that's okay because it's worth having all of that conversation. If you get that conversation right.
I figured that Phil and Senda would have to split a romance topic into 2 parts because it is a big part of both of their personalities for sure.
The implementing it will be so much easier. Where romance struggles in games, like a lot of other things in games, because it's not exclusive to romance, is if you don't get the expectations, if you don't get the requirements right,
Mhm.
the
Your
implementation
acceptance criteria needs to be clear.
right, the implementation almost always fails.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so if you want to have romance in your game and you want to have fun with romance in your game, the better you get your expectations set and communicated between you, the table, the GM, and everybody, then we can get it implemented and working in the game.
Correct.
Yeah. And so in our next episode, we will talk about how to take those expectations and get them into your game.
Yes.
That's great.
Good. Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it.
There we go.
Two
And
to
that's
3
also our
weeks
wrap
from
up.
now.
So Senda, we can move right to a blurb and then
Sure.
we'll head on out of here.
Yeah. On the Gnomecast, several gnomes from Gnome Stew get together and talk about gaming topics and themselves in an effort to entertain you and avoid being thrown in the stew. If you look backwards a little ways, there is a pretty cool episode where I got to interview Erica Skirpin about safety in LARPs versus safety in TTRPGs. I feel like this is a very related topic
Mhm.
to romancing games. So I'll just throw that out there. It was a very cool conversation. Erica's a fantastic human to talk to. So yeah, go catch that or go catch whatever's recent that, catches your eye.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Senda, where do people find us on the internet?
Well, you can find us at polygamerous/panda. That is polygamero.us/panda. That has all of the different ways that you can connect to us. So just find your favorite. And Phil, once they've found that, what can they do with that information?
Yeah. You should give us a topic, a question, a thought, very similar to Jamie. Toss something out there and let us start working on it. And very similar to what Jamie did. Jamie gave us a very broad topic. We then went and did what we do best, which is turn it out into a show. And in fact, turned it out into shows. So yeah, don't worry about that part, right? Don't just ask your question. Don't worry.
Yeah,
is
they'll
that
get you.
something they could make into a show?
Yes.
We'll make it into a show.
Yes.
Sometimes they have smaller topics that come in that turn into grab bag episodes. So it's like 2 to 3 topics or so in one of those episodes. Always delightful to get those as well.
One way or another, we'll make it into a
We'll
show.
do it.
Okay, good. So please do that. If you like what we do here or elsewhere on the Polygamerous Network, consider joining our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/MMP. The big thing is you get access to our Slack room for life. That gives you the avenue, just like Jamie had, to just drop that into Slack. There's actually a couple good parts to it. One, we will grab it and run off and make an episode from it. But two, the Slack community is super friendly and helpful. They'll already start tossing ideas in.
Just start answering questions.
In fact, usually they're so fast at it, we purposely don't answer.
Yeah, the answer you will get from me is awesome. I'll put that on our list.
Correct. If I look at your topic, if you throw a topic out there and I'm like, oh, hell yes, I'm not going to answer it in the Slack because I'm saving my answer for the show.
Correct.
So do that. And it's a great way to do it. And in Jamie's case, it was out in the open channel for role-playing stuff, but also you can just drop those things in DMs to if you're on Slack. It is a perfectly acceptable. We consent to you DMing us on Slack. If you have joined the Slack community, feel free to DM us. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're there for.
Yep.
Okay, cool. If you've done all that, that's great. If you're supporting us through our Patreon, thank you very much. There are costs to running a podcast network, and we do have to pay them, and patronage is what makes that possible. So thank you very much for your continued patronage or new patronage if you just joined up. And if you're unable to support us financially, there is a thing you can still do to help us. It's still immensely helpful. I think it's better than reviews. I know Senda likes reviews because it's nice to see praise. But there's another thing that's even more helpful in getting people to listen to the show. Senda, what's that thing?
You wait. Yeah, okay. Well, leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts.
Sure, do that part. That's fine.
Of your choice.
I
lost the plot because were you asking me to tell them about the Patreon?
No.
Where are we at?
For people to.
Oh yeah, you can just tell a friend. It's really,
Mm-hmm.
really helpful when you tell a friend. We actually know that most of our listeners at this point did come to us from direct referrals. A lot. I mean, maybe not most of, but like a lot of you did. And we super appreciate you being here and listening to the show and telling another friend.
Mm-hmm.
You can also leave us a rating review on Apple Podcasts or the podcatcher of your choice. And spoilers, we don't pre-record this ending.
Yeah.
It's bespoke every single time.
I don't know why we don't record this ending, but we don't.
But then people would skip it. I think
Yeah.
it's more funny if you know that Senda's going to
I think people skip it anyway, which I think is the joke is on us.
the
we
joke
keep
is on us. We keep recording it over and over again.
You know, what we need to do is perhaps put some sort of secret or something towards the end of it so that people are like, damn it, I got to listen. They're going to say something.
What a thought.
What a thought. If we were just better marketers, we would definitely do that. But since, we're not.
Since we're not really interested in marketing anymore.
You're probably okay.
You're probably all safe.
today's secret code is
Good.
Say, Senda, what kind of romance scene would you like to have with Margot in our new story that I'm working on this weekend?
I can't say that on the mics.
Nope, you really can't. Show me what you got. Show me. You really can't.
all right. Let's see. Where are we gonna?
Show me what you
Right here and here. Gonna pop those out, and we got to. Let's see here. Where's a good spot? Let's just get the
got.
outtakes
Show me
out.
what you got. Show me what you got. Goodness. No, you really couldn't.
I really couldn't.
All right, so now we got some outtakes here, so we're gonna grab those. I think we'll let Senda's laughter trail us into the music a little bit more. We'll take the remainder of it and toss that into the outtakes. And honestly, I'll probably even drag some of that back in here. That's fine. Okay. And I don't think we need a bloop on there because that's the end of the outtakes. And now I'm going to find my spot. I think it was right here. We'll do an episode closer tag. So that way we know where we're putting it. This is the lounge opener. So we're going to shoot this ahead like 4 minutes or so. And then I can find my audio files. Not the lovers of audio, the files of audio. And we'll kind of put it right there. We'll move the marker back a little bit, and then we will start fading that laughter here. Let's see what it sounds like.
The mics.
Nope, you really can't.
Perfect. So show me what you got. Outtakes. And then we go and how many days? Let's see, that's a 4-minute outtake bunch. So we need an extra minute on there at least. I'll pop that over there. And we'll just grab this whole batch, cut it, let it buffer a little bit, shrink that back down, and paste it right in the outtakes. How far did we go? Oh, that is pretty darn close. So we'll get a little bit more breathing room there. So I can pull in the Bamboo Lounge intro. Just like that. Perfect. And now, I'll let you listen to the ending music here. Although I don't think I have the rights to it, so I'm gonna kind of... There we go. There we go. And then that just gets into the outtakes that we already heard earlier. So if you want to hear all of it put together, it is releasing on Wednesday. Here is the lounge. I'm going to listen to this for any bits that I need to get out of there.
Goodness. No, you really couldn't.
I really couldn't. I mean,
yeah,
I guess
yeah.
it could, but it would be a whole different show.
Oh man, I love when we get topics like that. Like that was, that's fun for me. That like getting into how to frame out those kind of conversations. Like the answer is always going to be communication. Like
Mhm.
But like just telling someone just communicate with your players is not actually super helpful. Like you got to give a little bit more direction.
yeah, like you got problems in your relationships, you should talk it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks. You know what talk it out is? Talk it out in relationships is the equivalent of like, did you turn it off and turn it on?
Yeah. Did you turn it off and back on again?
Right. Like
Mhm.
it
Yes,
might fix,
jackass. I've tried.
it might fix something.
Maybe.
Right? Maybe, but maybe it won't.
But it definitely helps if you get a little bit more specific about
Yeah, if you
what might be helpful.
surprisingly, if you have the correct things to talk about,
Yeah.
you might fix it. Anyway, nerdy stuff.
nerdy
I
stuff.
was reading. I was all excited to read a book that I bought on our first.
Okay, sorry.
no,
The other book
I was-
first.
Yes, thank you. Foreshadowing.
I'm excited about you reading the book you're reading
Sure.
now.
So, I on our first trip to the Naughty Librarian. I bought
The
this.
spicy librarian.
The Spicy Librarian. Sorry, I bought this kink book, and I started reading it, and I did not enjoy it. I don't. I'm just gonna say that I had very different expectations of what I consider kink in writing and what was happening in the book. And so you were very supportive of me and gave me the it's okay to DNF a book like
Yeah,
that.
Mhm.
it's okay.
It's actually the first book I've DNF'd.
It's really hard the first time.
Did not finish,
Yeah,
right?
and I just like I was like, oh, I'll just keep reading it. It's not even that long of a book, and you were like,
You don't have.
You were
You were like 4 stories in on an anthology of short stories, and not a single one of them
really did
did
anything.
anything for
Mm.
you.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure other people like that book. Like I'm sure other people were like, oh, this book's amazing. Not for me.
it just
Anyway.
wasn't. It wasn't. The vibes were not vibing.
So as soon as I DNF'd it, I needed to make sure that I had like a guarantee home run.
yes.
So I was kind of reticent about some of the other books. Like I have some other books that I really want to read, but like I have like one in particular that I have my eye on, where I've read people say like it's kind of a hard read.
yeah.
Like it's good,
Mm.
but like it's a little bit of work. Like to get, like it's got some kind of like Harrow, where it's like you're not really gonna understand what the fuck's going on for a little bit. You gotta hang on.
Yep.
Which
so-
book is it? I love not understanding what's going on in books.
There is no anti-memetics division.
Oh God, I gotta read that.
So,
What?
So anyway, I was like, I don't know. I don't think I can jump into that book yet. I think I need something that's like a surefire.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need a guaranteed.
Yes.
I need a guaranteed
Oof.
read. And so I went for Murderbot because I'd already read All Systems Red.
I love Murderbot so much.
Right. I read All Systems Red and I loved it. I watched the TV show, loved it, and I was like, okay, you know what?
My wife had mentioned that I should be reading because she just recently read one of the books, and so she was like, "You should read this soon." Still working on Nona the Ninth though, so
I'm just gonna go get. I bought on a bundle of holding. I bought the entire Murderbot set
oh
in EPUB, and I was
Sure.
like, perfect. I'm just gonna start reading it. Did not disappoint. I'm
No.
probably just gonna keep reading them. Like,
Yes.
for a
Mm.
while. Maybe I'll finish
I-
all of them. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll stop for a point. But
I mean, there's a new one coming out this year.
for right now, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah. I loved Murderbot so much that after I read All Systems Red, I mean, I got the compilations, right? So there's
Yes.
hmm
3 and 2 and 3, I think, in each of the books. And so I read All Systems Red and then polished off the rest of that book, the other 2 novellas, and then just immediately went and bought the second one, and then immediately went and bought the third one. Like I might have read some book club books in between them because I had to, but I pretty much just went through that whole series and loved every second of it. Like I love Murderbot so much. It is one of my favorite characters, and just so yeah.
Yeah,
have a lot of good
I
things to
will
say
highly
about that
say if you
series.
have not read Murderbot yet, just go get yourself a copy of All Systems Red or the first anthology.
Get the first anthology because honestly, All Systems Red is great, but it's probably the worst of them. Like,
Which is saying a lot because it's great.
yeah, because
Like,
it's
it's-
great, right? Like, it was enough that it definitely got me hooked on the whole series. But it is the one that has a little bit of, it's a little tropier, I guess. After All Systems Red, like we really go off into into just like let's tell a story. So like All Systems Red is a sci-fi kind of adventure, slightly
Mhm.
horror-esque, stuck on a planet kind of story.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of stories like that. And it is that story. And what makes All Systems Red fantastic is the Murderbot, because the Murderbot is fantastic. Without the Murderbot and its personality in that book, we would be like, whatever, tropey, right? But once you get past that, like everything is just amazing because it's all Murderbot and you're in stories that are less tropey.
Mm.
So it's a great series. I really, really like that series a lot.
Yeah, so that
Also,
was Yep.
Sorry, one more thing. Also, if you're a person who has to mask in social situations at all whatsoever, for whatever reason of neurospiciness, you gotta read this series. It's fucking incredible.
I never put that together.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna
The
talk about
reason
this.
The
We
reason
are
I
gonna talk
love
about this.
Murderbot is that internal dialogue. Like, I have that internal dialogue, right?
Mm.
I'm always like that. Oh, that's deep. I have to have some discussions about that later.
So I apparently might have to move Murderbot up a peg after Nona. My next book was going to be The Blue Sword, which was a favorite of mine from my junior high days back in the 1900s. Gosh. Yeah, what I think we only have 2 of the books for Murderbot, so I'll have to double check to see what we have and if there's a read order or anything like that.
Yeah, let's talk. Cool. Anyway, Murderbot, I'm a big fan.
For sure. Anyway, good stuff.
Good stuff.
I know you've been working on something. We can't talk about it yet. We'll talk about it.
We can't talk about it because you don't know what it is.
Correct. So
Ah.
she's been working on a project.
It's sitting right next to me. I need to wrap it.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's
in a
for Phil's
future,
birthday.
yes, in a future Bamboo Lounge, I will tell you about my birthday present.
Yes. What
Mhm.
I will say is that this last week I read The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow, and it was, I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. It was way fucking better. It
Mhm.
was so incredibly good. It is a book that takes some academia tropes, some fantasy tropes, and time travel, and smashes them all into one glorious, heart-wrenching, and beautiful story that I really loved. It was really good. So if you're looking for something to read, I recommend that one.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Cool. All right. Well, we've definitely gone over long.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We've
just-
asked for
I will just say one more thing about
Sure.
The Everlasting, and that is, speaking of romance.
Mm.
Anyway, keep going.
yes. No. I was just gonna wrap.
It's a good
this up.
segue.
Yeah, we should go.
Get us out of here. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else right now. Gonna play some more spectaculars this weekend.
Heard good things about that.
So I've been enjoying that.
Oh man, I'm playing a LARP next weekend. It is a playtest 1-day run of the Once and Future Court, which is running in a 3-day run in Chicago later this year, the summer.
Mm.
And it is a LARP in which you are all normal old, regular old, modern day people, but you're really reincarnations of characters from the Arthurian legends.
Oh.
And, you are reborn, like we're just getting reborn again in cycles until we sort our shit out.
I love
That's
it.
interesting.
I actually wrote that as a plot to a game that I ran for in Eden Studios Witchcraft. That was very similar. That it was about a
Interesting.
people that kept failing to stop a ritual, and so like every 70 or something years, they would all reincarnate and find each other again, in hopes to try to stop the ritual.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
this is interesting because this is like remembering multiple lifetimes of coming back and still not sorting our shit out. It's gonna be very cool and interesting, and I'm really excited to play it.
Nice.
And I'm glad I got into the playtest because I have not gotten to play any of the full runs. So
Sweet.
that's my next weekend. That's why we're not recording next weekend.
That's correct. Alrighty. Good. All right, then I feel like we're sufficiently done for today.
I feel
What
like
do you
we
think?
got it. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks Ryan for editing as always.
You're welcome.
And we'll catch you probably in 2 weeks, maybe not.
2 to
We'll
3
let you know.
weeks, give or
Probably be
take.
here for April Fool's Day, but if we won't be, then we'll let you
We'll
know.
let you know.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
And stop. Yep, there it is. I can always tell when Phil is about to do that. Okay, so we saved that progress, and we're just going to do a quick little export here. Because why not? what do we got here? We are on Love, Pandas Talking Games, Love. And we've got the Bamboo Lounge. Throw that out there. Only takes a few seconds to export pandas, which I am very thankful for. And then this is the actual episode itself. We'll get that in there. Make sure the wave extension's on there. This takes a few more seconds to do, but it is fine. Where are we sitting at now? Okay, so while that's going, I am curious, what can I do for background audio while I am showcasing some stuff? I don't see too many folks in the audience right now. In fact, I believe I am the only person here right now. If that is incorrect, please let me know. But so far, it is just me, and I don't want to show off my cool stuff to nobody. Let me pop a little thing in here. Let's see. The watchers. I'm about to go through my social. I can't see beneath my microphone, so I'm leaning down really weird to type this. Social Bridge project. Just getting set up for that if folks are curious to join. Okay, cool. So we'll see if anybody pops in from there. I just posted to my Discord for folks to join in if they are able to. But for now, we'll see kind of where that sits. What else do I need to set up here? It does seem a little quiet in the background. So let's see what we have here. I believe there is a media source somewhere. And I can probably, let me go to the Tiki-Takis. And we're going to turn off the Adobe Audition. Turn back on Meld Studio. And then we can have Meld play some music for us, maybe. While we're going through, what can we hook in here? I guess is the big question, right? I do have Spotify, but I'm always wary of using Spotify because of potential copyrights and stuff like that. I don't have rights. I hear streamers all the time streaming with like just full on music, and it should be okay, right? But like, I don't know, maybe we do some cyberpunk vibes. I think that sounds fine. Let me pull in a media source here. Where is it? Oh, I know. I have to do a where is it? Media source. I think that's all I need, right? No, that's not it. Is it existing in there? I don't think it made it at all. I think it's a different thing. What are these? That's media source. This is that. Like a social. I don't think I need that. No. Sorry, stick with me as I go through this and wait for folks to file in, because right now I don't believe there's any folks out there to file in, and that's okay. We're just going off the cuff here. What else can I throw in here? No spin. No. That's not anything. Activity. Those are just cool things that can happen. Browser? No, I don't need that. Game capture? Let's do game capture. Let's select the source of Spotify. Let's see what that does. That's just gonna kind of go behind everything. We'll put way in the back. Hey, Caroline, welcome. I'm just getting things set up here. So we have a little bit of ambiance, I guess you could say, for it. Welcome back. I hope your phone call went well. Where are you? Oh, I can add another source. Perfect. We're going to add Spotify widget provider. What is that? Is that what I'm supposed to use? Well, we've got my tester of audio here, Caroline. We're gonna add this, and if I play this, that's We Will Rock You. That's not what I wanted. Cyberpunk vibes is what I wanted. Let's just see. No, it's not functioning yet, apparently. Love Cyberpunk vibes myself as well. Audio source. So this is just, there's Spotify. I found it. Spotify wasn't playing music previously. Add that. Now you should hear some Cyberpunk vibes. Excellent. Just get us in a little bit of a mood to listen to some cool stuff while we showcase the cool stuff that I'm trying to showcase. Okay, so now I need a source to share my Social Bridge app. So I'm going to bring it onto my main screen over here, and then I am going to add it as a layer here. Actually, no, I don't even need to do that. I can just change the source on here, Social Bridge, where I Shazam. We're going to go over and do it on the other horizontal view as well. Okay, so this is my Social Bridge application that I've been working on. This is the UI interface for it. I'll make it a little bit bigger for folks to see, to show off that I can zoom in and zoom out on it, which I'm very excited about. But when I am planning to go live or when I'm going live, all that sort of stuff, this dashboard is going to give me kind of the highlights, right? It's as I'm live, you can see I've got it's live. It's got the red border. I love it so much. I've got multiple Twitch channels potentially on here, right? So if I have additional Twitch channels that my app is watching, like I'll probably set it up for the One Shot Network Twitch channel as well. If both are live at the same time, it'll show off the title of it. It'll show off that it's live, all that sort of stuff. It's got recent events down here, which is really cool. The recent events are like, hey, we posted about you going live an hour ago. We posted about the stream reminder 4 hours ago, all that sort of stuff, right? And honestly, this is a little bit old data in some respects. So like, I can just click on the same thing there and it'll refresh the page for me, which is fantastic. I'm still working on the organization of the menus and stuff, but it's all like bare bones right now, which is fine. So I've got stream channels. So this is more information at like a higher level glance. Like the dashboard itself is going to be a customizable experience, right? It's going to be like, I want to see this big live banner here. I want to see my recent events, but I don't care about the channels. The stream channels is like, this is your stream channels. This is the dedicated space. If you want to see the overall status of each of your stream channels, it'll have up to 3 cards worth side by side. And as you resize the window, it will push the cards down that overflow to the next level automatically through the interface there. Really sweet. There's obviously, we've got to have some logs as well. So the logs shows me the live logs that we can go through the last 500 lines or so. So I can see that, hey, back at 11/14/57, it looked at this thing at 11:32. We actually went live. We posted that live to Blue Sky. And then here's the post to Discord that happened a few seconds later. So this gives me some good feedback on, hey, is something weird happening here? Is what's going on? My live tab as well down here is likely broken, but I do love the pulsing red, like, hey, I'm live thing on there. I thought that was cool. Yes, it's broken. I'm trying to figure this out. This is just kind of a neat feature I was playing around with to give me a live view of what Twitch is seeing and the live chat here over on Twitch, but like it's very low on priority for what I care about. So instead, I have been working on getting like the account set up and everything. So like the Discord servers, I've got it so you can add a server in here. And on that server, you give the server name, the guild ID, the event channel ID, where the messages are going to set to. But then when you create the server, you create a bot token or you use a bot token for my bot that has to join the server to create events, right? And that bot token needs to be private. So after you set it, and as you're setting it, obfuscates like a password field. So you don't have to see it. But once you set it and come back here, you can't see it. It never sends that token to the user interface from the files where they're stored in. So that way you can't accidentally reveal your bot token to somebody through here. You would have to go through the files themselves to actually fix it, which is great security. Trying to think ahead to like multi-users or whatever, potentially. And then the webhooks themselves, since every server you can set up multiple webhooks, the webhooks exist underneath the Discord server objects. So that way you are able to set up multiple webhooks on each Discord server. And then the webhooks have sort of things that you can, like the names of the channels on there and whatnot. So then there's a unique ID connecting the server and the channel that the hook is going to. And then you're able to use that for your content sources. Eventually you could use a secrets manager to handle those tokens too. Absolutely. Yeah. As soon as I'm out of the, this is just for me phase, and I'm going to let other people play with the user interface and stuff like that, I really need to lock down on that security and like plain text stored passwords and stuff. Cause right now it's just a bunch of JSON files, right? So it has a whole bunch of like stuff in pseudo database mode, right? And like this use for here is just informational from a legacy thing, but like it's nice to say, hey, this webhook here, and eventually I might utilize this. This webhook is only to be used for these things. So if a content source says, hey, I want to post my clips from my Twitch to this Discord webhook, it would prevent them from doing so. That's not in there yet, but I think that will be useful later down the line. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, this is phenomenal the way it's turning out right now. And obviously we have different things. At the top level, I love that it says how many webhooks we have and how many, and that there's a bot in the server active and available to utilize. The Blue Sky accounts, I just set this up today so that we can modify and whatnot the Blue Sky accounts. It says at the top level where the account is going to. Hey, Andy, welcome. Good to see you. We're doing a chat and show and tell of my stuff today. So not a hightail stream, but it is fantastic to see you. It shows that there's a password set for it. So that means it's ready to use, right? You can test it if you want. I haven't tested this function yet. I'm not going to. I have a Discord. Yeah. So discord.lordneptune.com. You can join the Discord. And if you want, you can become part of the Watchers group, and it will tag you for when I go live. And I might throw some tags out there when we're doing special things like showing off this thing that we're doing right now. So if you wanted to join there and chat about life and anything else, hobbies, whatever, it's a chill space. It's a safe space, and we can talk about whatever we want in there. It's a good place to be. Very few people right now, but like we are going to be slowly building as I continue to stream. So Blue Sky accounts have account IDs, display names, that's for the humans, right? And then the handle, that's for the API. Figure out this program itself, I designed this. This is my baby. This automatically posts my go lives to Blue Sky and Discord for now. It's also going to integrate with Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and YouTube as well. TikTok, when I can finally get the API keys for that, as well as Tumblr. Maybe Mastodon's in the cards. I barely use Mastodon. Actually, I don't use it at all, but it's an option. Some people use it. And there's probably others that I'm not fully aware of. But like, I want to be able to integrate with all these things so that at the click of a button, or even just as a, hey, I'm going live, my program's watching for it, and it's like, hey, I've got 5 posts to do. Let me rapid fire them off. You will be able to, yeah. So I've got a clips queue down here. You can drag MP4s or movie files into this queue. It's not ready yet, but it will take the clips and it will say, well, how long are these, right? And you will take the metadata from the clips and you can parse out the description. And there is a tags metadata column as well, that if you populate that metadata, it will pull that metadata out and post that as your body of the post, like on TikTok, and the tags that it'll add onto there as well for TikTok, Instagram Reels, stuff like that. And then it'll just shoot out the thing. And on YouTube, apparently Shorts use a hashtag Shorts thing. So I can just drop in like 10 clips here that I got for one of my streams, and it won't post them all at once. This is the beauty. It will wait X amount of minutes between each post. So I can say, I want a 30-minute thing, right? Mox, thank you for the follow. Wonderful to see you here. Yeah, it can post in like 30-minute batches or hour batches. So you're not spamming your feeds with all this stuff. It's just going to be like a nice little set it and forget it, right? If you drop a clip in here, like from your streams, and it doesn't have the metadata on there, it will hold that file and let you add the metadata. So you can add the description, you can add your tags right from there, right from this program, and you'll be able to get it nice and completed and then push it out. If the clip upload fails at all, it will hold on to it and then throw an error message and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that this clips queue is going to do. Very not working right now yet. I have been, this application itself, I'm currently calling it Social Bridge. I don't think that's used for anything like this yet. There is something to do with Social Bridge out there, but it's like something else. I can't remember what. I did a little bit of SEO lookup for it, but I think Social Bridge is kind of sticking for now. Eventually, I hope to release it as a thing that anybody can use, for sure. Once it's perfected enough. The thing that I'm doing right now is I've got two podcasts that I work on, at least, right? Character Creation Cast is my podcast that I co-host and produce and publish with my co-host Amelia. Amelia is a fantastic individual, and I couldn't do the podcast without her. But we are also very bad at social media talking about our show. So when I add a podcast in here, it is every 15 minutes or so checking that RSS feed, looking for a new episode. If it finds one, like I can go down here and test the feed, right? And it pulls the last 3 episodes for me, right? I can go right to the RSS here. I can go right to the link on Spotify to the episode. I can see a thumbnail of the episode artwork here. And I can also, like, say my episode's out there. I can see it on Spotify, but I'm really impatient for that 15 minutes. I can force check it. And when I click on that, it's going to say, hey, this is going to run a check, and it's going to lock you out from doing another one for 120 seconds. Because RSS feeds, the services hate you just, like, going out there and constantly checking things. Because then they'll, like, lock you out at some point if you do it, like, every few seconds or whatever. So I do like to have those safety things in mind. What's really cool is coming down here. I broke it a little bit with my reorg, but there's a seen episodes option here that will hook into all the episodes that it's seen personally and posted about, which is really cool. But podcast feeds, you need the feed name, you need the RSS. You can, it for all your posts, it has a list of 10 like random opener lines for your post, like on Blue Sky. So it'll be like, hey, new episode of Pandas Talking Games is coming out. And then it'll show the title, it'll show a truncated description and a link to the episode on Spotify, as well as an actual embed on Blue Sky that will go to the episode on Spotify or the website or whatever, right? And you can choose where it auto posts to. So I want all Pandas Talking Games episodes to post to Pandas Talking Games and the Polygamers Podcast Network, right? And since I left this blank, it will use a random opener for both of them separately. So both posts aren't going to be identical. It's going to be slightly the same or mostly the same, but that opener will be a differentiator. So it's not like I'm posting the same thing to 2 accounts, literally. I mean, there's a chance it'll pick randomly the same thing since there's only 10 options, but that list of options is variable. Honestly, I've got a whole bunch of them. I've got live notification openers. I've got schedule reminder openers, all that sort of stuff. This page here in the UI is not fixed yet because that's not on a priority for me to fix. But you'll be able to preview them. You'll be able to reset them to the default 10. You'll be able to add more to the list here and see the default 10, all that sort of stuff. And you'll be able to, I'm going to see if I can get a way to like randomly create more. I don't know if how that's going to work or whatever, but like if you can click a button and say, hey, create 10 random opener lines for me, and it just does it I don't know if that's even feasible, but like for now it is what it is. I think having the customizability to manually add a bunch of opener lines would be cool, but I think it's working well enough at this stage. Twitch channels, of course. This was like the main reason I wanted to do this, Twitch and podcasts. So you set it up, you can see how many seconds it actually it checks to see if you're live or not. So I have mine set for a minute. You can set how many hours before the go live is scheduled, right? To throw out a reminder onto your Blue Sky accounts and whatnot. You can have a 24-hour reminder to say, hey, there's an event scheduled in a day, and you can post that to places. And then you can have a default live hour amount or so, right? So I do generally 2-hour streams, 1.5-hour streams or so. This one's going a little long, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But you can say, hey, if my stream that I just went live with doesn't have a schedule, assume it's going to be 2 hours, right? And it'll just kind of keep track of that. You can have, hey, when I go live and when I post things from this account, which one is going to post to? You can have multiple on here. And when you have multiple, the star represents which is your primary account. So if you are posting to Character Creation Cast's account only about the event, it will, I don't know if it does yet, but in some areas it will say, hey, this isn't the primary account. Tag my primary Blue Sky account in this post to say, hey, if you like Character Creation Cast, you're going to love what Lord Neptune's doing over on Twitch or whatever, right? And it'll tag me and then create a whole, post hierarchy there. You add webhooks. I showed the webhooks earlier, but you add the webhooks where you want things posted to, right? So you have different things. So going live, stream ended, Discord event announcement, all that sort of stuff. And then you can add, like, is there a prefix that you want always to say on this post at all? And for Lord Neptune's Lounge, the personal Discord here, going live, I have attention. And then it tags the watchers tag for me automatically. I can add any number of tags. And what's cool is it links into the server and it pulls literally the tags from that server live when you're trying to add a role, right? So if I go to the Character Creation Cast server, I can see I've got totally different ones. I don't even know what this breakfast one is, honestly. But I've got all my tags in here for roles that I can throw out there, right? And it's great because I don't need to hold all those roles locally. It dynamically pulls them in, and I'm so happy I got that working. On top of that, you can override what features each Twitch channel like posts to. So like if I want to stop doing going live posts for whatever reason, I can turn it off at this level and it'll skip going live posts for me. I haven't tested this part yet, but I thought that was an important thing to have available. If they are grayed out like this, that means that they are outside of the norm of the default. Like there's an overall default for all of these options. And if it's grayed out, that means that's what it was when we started, right? So it really just kind of gets into all of that there. This one, I don't think is, maybe it's working now. I can fetch from Twitch. Yeah, there we go. And it gives me like the next scheduled amounts coming, next schedules coming out, the top 3 or something like that. So it gives me a little overall of my upcoming week, which is really nice. Yeah, thank you. I love how it's turned out very much. This next one, I'm really excited for this. It's not working yet, but what the plan here is, you'll be able to throw in a vertical template video, and that video will have like bounding boxes or so. Let me see if I can pull up my template video 1 second here, because it's really, really slick how it works. Like the back end works perfectly for it, and I'll show you a couple examples if I can find it real quick. Where are you? Videos. I think, is it under TikTok recordings, stream backups? No, that's not it. Is it? No, that's not it. Hold on a second. We're getting there. Okay, I think I found the template video. I'm gonna open this up, and we're gonna have to throw in another media source here quick, so bear with me as I slowly swap things over. I'm just gonna kind of do this here. Media player. We'll get back to the social bridge in a second, right? So this is my bounding box, right, of where my text is going to go. And this is like where the category, the stream category. Oh, you're TikTok muted. You're nifty. Okay. TikTok's really weird about the chat sometimes. I don't know what to do about that. But this one is like it's a 2-minute video or so, or a 1-minute video. It has my swirly background that you have in my interface, right? A little sped up. It's got my rotating social media handles up there that I need to update, because now I have a Discord and some other graphics and stuff on there. So I just threw this together. And where is... I really need to find the one that it made as a preview. I think if I go here, hold on one second, because it's really cool how it turned out. I think I have it in my test folder, honestly. Where are you, test folder? I know you're in there somewhere. Oh, it was minimized because I have so many tests. We'll reveal that in File Explorer and pull that up. So this is what it does. This is all dynamic text. It encodes the text dynamically from the upcoming schedule. Tells you what you're playing, has the time, has my Twitch on there. Pulls in the game category thumbnail for you automatically, and then it will take this video and post it for you on the short form places like YouTube Shorts and TikTok, and we could also do Blue Sky. Yeah, girl, this is nice. Absolutely. Sailor Neptune is the best. So this is like my crown jewel of like upcoming events and stuff like that. This is the 24-hour reminder of the video sites that's going to go out there. I might even add it to my my Blue Sky posts as well. Still fiddling around with the interface and how to get this up and running and everything. But like I can do it on the back end. I can run the script manually and it just kind of works, right? And I'm super happy with that. I'm going to switch back to the Social Bridge app because I think there's a little bit more to showcase out there. Social Bridge. But what's so cool is you'll upload a video here and you'll be able to draw bounding boxes around those areas I was talking about. And you can also like fiddle with the XY location of the box and the width and height here as well if you want to do it manually. But then you can also add your audio tracks here. So you can pull in a WAV file or an MP3 of what you want playing in the background for the template. And then this will save off as one of your templates. And you can say, you can configure, hey, use my live template. Use my I going live in 24 hours template. Use my my Pandas Got Talking Games template versus my Character Creation Cast template versus my Twitch template, right? So having all of that available is definitely in the cards. It's a down the line thing. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it maybe even this week. I'm just trying to get a lot of the base features moving. But as soon as I get my TikTok mock-up in here for the TikTok video, it's going to be kind of integral to all of that. Yeah, I am using GitHub for it. Right now it's a private GitHub collection that is out there, and it is just me in the code there. It is me dinking around with wondering why I can't merge back into my main branch. Very aggravating. Like I have to keep branching off of branches at this point when I want to make like save points and whatnot, because I can't merge back into main. And I'll figure it out eventually. I really will. But I did not have the patience to do so anytime soon. But for now it's working, right? I have a branch, I get it working, I get the feature working, and then I commit that feature and I push that out to GitHub and let it store. And then I say, well, time to work on the next feature, create a new branch from the feature I was just on. So now I got a little breadcrumb trail of like backups just in case I completely foobar my application. I can go back and just, I'll start over. Maybe I can't fix it. Maybe I just completely deleted something on accident. Let me go back and figure out what's missing, right? So it's it's really easy to foobar things when you are playing around with stuff for the first time. Like I come from a background of like general programming of multiple languages, right? I do have a rather extensive knowledge of HTML and CSS and JavaScript, so that's like a lot of this is that, but Python is very new to me, and it runs mostly on a Python backend that uses various, what do they call them? Like the packages and whatnot to display stuff in here, to do the drop down, the libraries here. There you go. Brains work good sometimes. And all of that is kind of configurable. And so I added like hey, if you're going to be doing any running of this locally currently, or trying to, program this for yourself or whatever, right? I do have a requirements text file in there that has all the versions of everything that you need, all the libraries that you need out there. And it just works for now. Oh, and before I forget, post history. I love this, right? Speaking, I'll get to the metrics in a second. So post history, you can't hook into Discord live, right? So I have it mocking up kind of like a Discord post, right? And then you have a thumbnail of like where the stream's at or whatever, right? The live notification for the Blue Sky, that one's on here, and it's an infinity scroll, right? It'll just keep expanding as I go. I only want my Blue Sky, right? It uses the full Blue Sky embed in there to showcase that. It has more technical details on the side. So if I need to know like what's the URL, like what's the ATURI that serves up the post, right? It's all right there. If later on I'll be able to do like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube on here as well. But anything that the app posts will be in here. I do have quick links to all of those as well, so I can just go in there and see the logs. Media history. This is where the stats come into play. I have watched 4 streams. Well, I mean, I have run 4 streams with this watching all the content. This only hooks into Twitch for now, but it tells me the average duration, the total number of streams I've done. The most played category is obviously Hightail. And it has the information from all the past streams. So like the first stream that I watched was the Just Chatting, my first edit of Pandy's Talking Game last weekend. And then it's got the 3 scheduled streams for Hightail from this week. And then once I'm done going live, it will compile all the stats and start pushing down the next thing in here to show me how many people in there, how many chatters there were, where did it post to and what, right? And then it's got links to all the posts right in here for that stream itself. So it's like kind of a one-stop shop for that sort of information. It'll have a similar thing for clips, like where your clip history posts and all that sort of stuff. And then it also has a running podcast posting thing where you can have it show what has been posted in the past. And again, podcasts post dynamically as episodes go live. And I'm working on a way to make it so that you can manually post stuff as well. I can't remember if I got that working, honestly. So there is a way to, gosh, where is it? There is a way, I thought I had a way to go into, maybe I hit it because it wasn't working. But there's a way to access the full podcast feed, and then you're able to repost any episode where you can select it and say, hey, this episode, I want to highlight it for whatever reason. I thought it was a great episode. And it will pull from a different template of openers saying, hey, do you remember this episode? Check it out. Here it is. And it hooks into Spotify and links you right to the Spotify episode. Or the episode on Spotify, because that's going to be the most universally usable thing. Because if you work with the RSS feed itself, some people put a link to the episode in the links field. Some services let you customize that links field. So like the links for Character Creation Cast, go to the game site to purchase the game that we're reviewing on the show instead of to our episode itself. So I can't use that links thing to link to my episode. So I'm still getting that working. But the fact that it will figure out where it's kind of supposed to go, it's fantastic. I really wish I could find where that feed thing is, because like it is so slick. I know it's not in test feeds. I used it once too. And I was like, and then I reorganized my whole side channel here because it was a mess. Just like, I don't throw it in there, it's fine, whatever. But apparently I threw it somewhere where I didn't know where to put it. I've got feature flags. This is from the start. This is the old defaults, right? This is all still local. Yeah, this is all running on my machine currently, right now. I've got the old environment settings on here that when everything was global. So like the Discord, Blue Sky, and Twitch artifacts, they're going to go away. But I've got reminder windows and stuff that are defaults. I've got the general, I'm in America, Chicago time. My log level is info instead of, debug, warning, error, critical. And like other things might come out here eventually too. All of the like variables that are like top level secret stuff don't get shown here, obviously. And a few of the other things like the save settings buttons, I'm having it become more ubiquitous between all the things. So if I make a change in here, right, it will pop up a little thing down here saying discard or save. And instead of just having a single save button always on the screen, I'm migrating everything else to use that similar thing for a more unified experience across the whole app, because I love usability. I love people expecting things where they're supposed to be. So I think that's the whole app, honestly. Oh, light mode too. For those that like to have their faces blinded off as they go into an app, you could have light mode too if you really wanted. But whatever. And I had fun. I have like a brand band of stuff in the HTML from like 50 to 1,000 or so, and then my ideal color is kind of in the middle for this teal. And so like this is level 700 of the teal, the dark teal to light teal sort of band. And then this is like 300 for the text itself. But if I go to light mode, they swap. So now the text of the things that are selected are 700 and the background becomes like 300 or whatever. So it's a nice little subtle like it's still linked, it's still branded, and I love it very much. I've got to get the buttons changed on all the pages as well, because the buttons are not a unified color, and I want them also to be in the same branded color. So I'm working that out. Like this add channel buttons, I think the color I want it to be. But obviously, a little biased on the color because of a certain Sailor Scout. I'm sure you can figure out who I'm talking about. Gosh. And these toggle switches as well. Purple was the original like Twitch color or whatever, and I want to just make it my own brand on there. So a lot of stuff to do still. I've got a laundry list of things that I need to fix, things that I want to add to it. So I've got like maybe 6 or 7 documents of like, here's some stuff, figure it out. And I'm going to start figuring it out, the logic and all that sort of stuff, and how I want it designed, and kind of start getting it implemented. And we'll see what I can do, because this is a heavy hyper focus right now that I am obviously very excited about and very passionate about. And I love showing it off, and I love seeing the reactions to it. I've been using Claude a little bit for a lot of the syntax gathering and whatnot, because in my thoughts, programming is 90% logic, 10% syntax. You get that logic going, and let it auto compute some of the syntax, and then you fix what you need to do. You're good to go. It saves a lot of time. It's what I have to do at work now. My day job is Spring Boot coding, and they say if you're not using the AI tools built into Visual Studio Code right now, do so, because it helps save a whole bunch of time, and they are right, it does save a whole bunch of time. So I do have to use Claude a little bit for all of that, and then we're able to kind of bring things to fruition a little bit faster, right? So it's not too terrible in that regards, but it's been very helpful. I definitely wouldn't have gotten this far without it. Otherwise, I'd be Googling a bunch of stuff, right? And Google's using Gemini, and they're just going to throw Gemini stuff at me anyway. So no matter what I do, I'm hitting AI. So I'm going to have to use it somewhere. So I might as well use it built into my development, standards there. Yeah, I do ask it questions all the time, in terms of like, we have brainstorming documents that I say, here's what I want, here's what I need, and have I missed anything, right? What questions would you have, right? And it will go through, and we'll have a little bit of snippets in there where it'll respond to me and I'll respond to it, and then we'll kind of refine it a little bit. And then that way we can go, okay, well now I can go to this file, now we can add this stuff and all that sort of stuff. And it's been pretty slick. So it's nice because I'm one person with a family, too many hobbies, and I've added another hobby on top of that with live streaming. And I'm thoroughly enjoying all of it. So it's all a matter of having the right balance, right? So I'm super happy with how it's working out. I really love it. Any questions? And I just noticed the carrots are different. Oh no, I have to fix that. Thank you. Yeah, this is one of the biggest things I'm proud of what I've been creating, and seeing it come to fruition as a user interface. It's really an interesting experience, because I've only had to do stuff for other people, right? For corporations and whatnot. And now I'm doing this for me, and not only for me, like for other people. Like I want streamers to be able to use this. I want podcast folks that I'm a fan of to use something like this if they're not great at social media. I want like my podcast network. They would benefit greatly from something like this, because then like their flagship shows would always get posts to the podcast account on Blue Sky, and reminders will get thrown into the Discord server, which has a lot of people in it. All that sort of stuff, the stuff that they're not doing right now, because who has the mental capacity anymore to constantly be thinking about all of the like, I guess, grunt work of content creation, right? This would be so helpful for a lot of people. I honestly think this could be something I could monetize eventually. I have no idea how. That gets, because my altruistic side says, take it, use it, be free, right? But like the common sense side is, I live in a capitalist society, and that's just the nature of life. So maybe, yeah, have basic features, and then unlock a premium tier that lets you do more things. I want something out there for folks to use, and I want to be able to, I think like the premium features, the premium tiers feels almost fantastically perfect, because it's like, here's the basics. You'll be able to go beyond that if you give a little bit of money, right? And not only above and beyond that, like maybe you'll get the stats, maybe you'll get like more than one Discord webhook, more than one podcast that you can have in there, more than one Blue Sky account that you can post to simultaneously, right? Whatever it ends up being. Once I get to the point where I am very satisfied with how it's working for me, then I'm going to start exploring that sort of opportunity. Yes, we need to live in societies where everybody just does their passion project, shares it with others. No monetary component. Like, I was talking with my kids the other day of like, why capitalism? Like when it does no good for a lot of folks. What's the alternative? I asked my son, and he's like, well, I don't know. Like maybe everybody gets the basics, and then, you know, and he's 10, by the way, does the basics, and then you get the basics, and so you can survive. You need shelter, you need food and all that sort of stuff. And then like, well, what if you want a little bit more? And they said, well, then you can work a little bit, and then you'll be able to get better things, right? And like, yeah, you're starting to think about it a little bit. Like, currency is a human construct. It's nothing that is a natural existence. It's just something that we said, hey, this is a good way to barter, right? So now we're living in this society where capitalism is the default, and now we have to kind of work around that. So yes, I will monetize it at some point. I think I feel this could be so useful for so many folks. I've tried using Zapier, I've tried using Buffer, I've tried using these other things, but there's so much manual setup with all of that I just want you to say, hey, here's my Twitch, here's my Discord, here's a webhook, here's my Blue Sky, just auto post for me. I don't care. I trust that it's going to do that. And then now it's going to be creating all this stuff. Maybe I'm going to have, and eventually I will have, a manual poster from here where you'll be able to craft the message saying like, okay, I've got this URL for my Twitch video on demand, right? Go ahead and post a link to that with this title, just the title, you know, and the description of the VOD and everything. It'll auto-populate that into the message for you, and it'll push it out to all the services for you. It'll encode that template video for you. It'll push that template video out to the services for you as well. And it'll give you stats and links back to all of those posts right off the bat. And it's just perfect. Like, I come here, I can see how many people liked, and like, because of the Blue Sky embed, I can reply right from here. I can view it on Blue Sky. It's amazing. And I want people to be able to use it, but I also need to live, and my family needs a house and food. So monetization will happen. However, it is 2:15. We are almost at 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes of stream. Yeah. Thank you for the support, Caroline, for all of the stuff that I'm doing here. Like, I'm gonna gush about it more on the Discord, so feel free to hop in there between sessions and like just see what the progress is like on there. And it's gonna be an exciting journey for sure. So I'll keep everybody apprised. And I think next week we'll see kind of where we're at again once I'm done doing some podcast editing next Sunday. So we'll see kind of where we're going with that. But I guess for now, let me turn down the cool cyberpunk vibes in the background here, and bid you adieu for the afternoon. Caroline, thanks for stopping by. For other folks that have joined in and out, thanks for stopping by as well. Also enjoy your day, Caroline. And I will see you when I see you. All right. Good day, everybody. Enjoy the hopefully not so bad weather. I know I've got so much snow up here, but hopefully I won't lose power as well. All right. Take care.
Lunch.
The microphone was still active. Oh, it's still active. There we go.